Starting your business. This is going to be the easiest, but also the hardest part of the entire journey. A lot of people complicate this. You're going to need to put a lot of work into this whole situation, because if you think that you're just going to post a Google ad or post an Instagram reel or a Facebook and people are going to reach out to you and customers are going to hire you and employees are going to rush to your doorstep, you're wrong. And by the way, you have to be very patient. I started my business. I started Applewood in July of 2015, and it didn't launch officially until January 2016. So it took me like 4 months to get cooking. I was doing a job, then we did the job, and I was like, oh boy. The job went well. I made a little bit of money, and then I got another job like 4 days later. And then I got another job like a week later. It wasn't consistent. It became very consistent in January of 2016. Ever since then, we have not stopped for 10 years, which is crazy to think about. Besides rain days and holidays, of course. Yes, I work on my birthday. Getting your first job. First, you have to be very, very driven. You got to just push. You can't just kind of just do a little bit and expect a lot. You have to do a lot, expect a little. Opposite thinking. You have to do a lot and expect nothing. And what I did in the beginning was post on Nextdoor, posted on Craigslist, I posted on Facebook. Facebook didn't help, but Facebook Marketplace was not a thing back then. And what I did to really get going was flyers. I printed a bunch of flyers out, like 2,000, and I went to where? You'd be like, oh, T, did you go pass out flyers in the house? Yes, I did. I got on my longboard and I rode and I put flyers in their mailboxes. Legally speaking, you can't do that. A dude messaged me on Instagram. He's like, you said put flyers in mailboxes. And I did that and I got in trouble. And I said, no, put flyers on mailboxes, doofus. On. See, you got one letter switched up. Put flyers on the mailbox. And that's still illegal, by the way. But whatever, you got to take it. You got to take some risks in life. And I passed out flyers, put them in the mailboxes, and I got no calls. And I was like, bro, what is going on? How am I going to get work? So I printed out like 4,000 flyers and I went to the shopping mall and I started blasting the flyers on their windshield wipers. I'd lift the windshield wiper, boom. And I got so good at it, I would just flick the wrist, bam, bam, bam. And I would pass out, 2,000 flyers in like 4 or 5 hours. It was very, very quick. And remember, you put one flyer on a car in the morning, you can come back at night, totally different cars. You can just keep going. And you can do this every single day. Just don't go to the employee parking lot because employees are not going to hire you anyway. Just go to where all the customers are. And ideally, you want to go where Gucci, Louis, all these like fancy stores, Prada, wherever the cars are, that's where you start blasting. This is all a part of marketing, and you have to become a very known company in your area. Not even a company, just a dude that does landscaping. You can be the guy that's the irrigation guy. You can be the guy that's the mulch guy. You can be the plant guy. You can be the guy that only installs rocks. Rockman. You can be that guy. It's okay. Whatever it is, but you have to be that guy in your neighborhood, in your town. People have to know you. When they think of landscaping, they think of Rockman. Something like that. And the only way you do that is by posting, marketing, wrapping your cars, wrapping your trucks, becoming omnipresent. Wherever you go, they see you. It's like this Cybertruck. The reason I got the Cybertruck is because it looks hideous. But I made it less hideous by murdering out the windows, murdering out the Cybertruck. It's all black with big letters. Everywhere I go, people see me. Applewood, 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 Applewood. And that's the point. The more people see you, the more business you'll get. Maybe not tomorrow, but next year. If I was going to start a landscape business in 2025, I would be the poster child of the business. I would put my name everywhere. I'd put my face everywhere. I would be that kid that's the landscaper. I'd be that kid that's the guy that can take out the bush and install a new bush. I would be the paver man, paver king, whatever it is. You have to be that guy. And the more you post on Instagram, the more you post on socials. And remember, boys, all this is free. Like, you're not paying anything. People are like, oh, I need $100,000 ad revenue budget in order for me to be successful. No, you don't. You can actually just make interesting content, videos, and you don't have to get 100 million views every single video. You might get 1,000 views on a reel, and that 1,000 views will convert to 2 really good customers. And those customers will keep you busy for a month. So do you want to be famous or do you want to convert? I'd rather convert, you know? I don't care. Like, yeah, having 250,000 followers on Instagram right now is great. Sure, yeah. But at the same time, how many of those people actually buy something from me? I don't know. Not too many. 1%, 0.05%, who knows? 0.5%, I don't know. But it's not going to be a lot. Whereas someone that is like, example, like Red Bull, people love Red Bull, but if you go on Red Bull's Instagram, there's no Red Bull drinks. They're just doing crazy backflips and flying planes backwards. They're not even drinking Red Bulls. You ever notice that? They're not doing anything with Red Bull. It just says Red Bull on the plane. So, yeah.
Building your team and hiring. This is the most important part because let's face it, you can't do everything yourself. You have to have a good team. These guys are the best because they're able, like, imagine this whole thing was just dirt and we came in and we transformed it into this beautiful landscape for the homeowner to enjoy. Now we're installing the plants. And at this particular point, most of the time you're not going to have the right skill to do the job yourself, because for you to learn how to do travertine, irrigation, plant installation, a fire pit behind me, right there, it's going to take you 10 years to become really good at it. Or what you can do is what I always recommend is go out and find the right talent, recruit them, pluck them, drop them in your company, and see your company flourish, because you're buying the experience through team members. And a lot of times where I see guys starting in the game, they are new and they're like, okay, I'm going to start building, I'm going to get the right people. They go out and they recruit guys for $20 an hour, $17 an hour, $22 an hour, and they go up all the way to 25, and they're like, well, this is too expensive. Remember, the good people, the great people that you want that are going to completely change the trajectory of your life and the company are going to start at $30 and go up from there. You have to be very, very cautious, and don't be cheap with your people, because if you hire the wrong guy and you pay two guys at $25 an hour, remember, you could have just hired one guy at 40 and you'd be saving $10 an hour, and that one guy will do way more work than two regular guys at $25. Now there's a rule to this. You got to hire fast and you got to fire fast. Don't be too emotionally attached to people. If they don't work out, just get rid of them. We just had to fire 2 people this week because they weren't meeting up to standards. We gave them a job. This is the agreed amount. This is what you have to do. They weren't meeting that. We had conversations before. We had warnings. We had discussions on, yo, you got to do this. You're not doing it. Oh yeah, okay, I'll do it. And then they do good for a month and they fall off. And this happened like 3-4 times to the point where I got tired. I'm like, dude, I'm not here to babysit. Do your effing job, bro. If you don't want to do your effing job, get out. So we blew them out. And don't be so afraid to go out your comfort zone and be social. Remember, guys that are the right candidate for the position you want are not going to be hanging out at like a job fair on the side of Home Depot drinking a beer on a Thursday. They're going to be working. So where are the guys that already have a job? They're going to be buying materials. Travertine place. The guy that actually has work is going to be going to buy travertine. So you should yourself go to the places where they sell travertine. Paver yards, gravel yards. Maybe you want a heavy equipment operator. You have to go and start asking questions at the Caterpillar dealer, maybe the rental yards. You got to get creative because these people are already working, and it's okay for you to go. Like, my guys have had opportunities where people from my coaching group, Goat Gang, have gone to them and said, hey, I want to hire you and pay you more. That's happened so many times. You have no idea. But there are definitely things that are more important than money. Yeah, you can give the guy $3 extra, $4 extra, but are they going to have the same respect that they do at your company with my company? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. Who knows? I lose people. I find people. People come, people go. It is what it is. Don't get too offended by it. Don't get too emotional. Just go to the right place to find the right person. Equipment, tools, and trailers. This is one of the most important things that you can have on the job site, because a lot of you guys, what you do is you leave stuff at the yard, leave stuff in your garage, and you come back and you get stuff. This thing always stays on the job site, and it looks a little crazy right now because the boys are using it, but all it takes is maybe 10-15 minutes in organization, and then boom, it's done, ready to go. Now this one, let me show you an example of why I like it. Let's do a little profile view. First, this would be a great advertisement to have on the street, but the city in this neighborhood is being quite annoying. Usually we put the trailer right on the street and we just leave it there, but they keep driving by and giving us stickers that they're going to make us stop work. So we had to make a little parking lot in the side yard, which is fine, and the tools stay there. Now, there is no setup time. As in, the boys don't go to the yard, get the stuff, and come back here. They just open the trailer door and get rolling. So it's like from 7:30 when we start, by 7:40, they're already cranking. Work is producing. Versus other companies, they go to the yard, they clock in at 7:30, they get to the job site at 8 o'clock, and they start working at 8:15, 8:20. You lose 45 minutes. That's not a good idea. That's why having one of these, even though it's cost $12,000 to buy, you'll make up that money so fast in labor like that. You'll be surprised how fast. And every successful landscape company that I've seen, especially build, have a trailer on site. And you have to find out what your guys need. Oftentimes I've bought tools and I'm like, oh, the guys are going to really love this. And they don't. So the best thing to do in the beginning is just to rent. It's okay to rent like 3 times to make sure that they'll actually use it. And then you go out and pull the trigger and buy it. I remember one time I bought this concrete mixer, which was like $1,000. Not a big deal, but I bought it and I was like, oh, this is going to be great. They're going to love it. They didn't use it. So I had to sell it. And then 4 years later, they're like, oh, we want a concrete mixer. I'm like, wait a second. I do not forget when you guys made me buy stuff that you didn't like. No concrete mixer for you. I'm like, if you want it, go rent it twice. If you actually like it, we'll buy a new one. So it looks like I'm buying another concrete mixer. Dang it. This right here is going to be one of the most important players in the game. This guy was $80,000 when I bought it, and I bought it in 2021. It is not paid off. Own it. I don't owe anyone anything. It's just mine. Now, is it worth 80 grand? No, it's probably worth 60, but that doesn't matter. It's not going to go to zero. This thing is always going to be worth money. And you're saving a lot of time by buying this piece of equipment. And what I like to do is buy a bucket. I'll buy a tooth bucket. I'll buy a flat bucket. And I'll buy a fork that are assigned to this machine. Now, if you see, you're like, oh, this is a Ditch Witch. Why don't you have a Ditch Witch fork? No, because Ditch Witch forks are garbage. The Ditch Witch buckets are garbage. Complete trash. Do not buy it. What you want to buy is this right here. This is a Caterpillar. Caterpillar makes fantastic attachments, the best in the game. I've had Bobcat, I've had all this, everything's garbage. You can't mess up a bucket that hard. Yes, you can. Ditch Witch did. They made a horrible bucket. That's why I got rid of them all and I only bought Cat. And look at this. What is this? Why is this like this? See, guys are not taking care of the stuff. How does this work? I don't know. How does this work? Oh, look at that. See? They're not taking care of my stuff properly. I have to do it. I have to do everything myself. If you want it done right, do it yourself.
Now we have to differentiate what your whole setup is going to be like. Are you going to have all your employees come to the office, or are you going to have all your employees meet straight at the job site? This is a very, very important thing that you must get straight now so you can save throughout the whole timeline of your company. Example, let's say you have 10 employees and each employee average cost is $30. Let's say your employees are $300 an hour. Now, if you have them go straight to the job site, they only spend 10-15 minutes getting the tools ready and going about their day. If you have your employees meet at the yard, and then after the yard, they get all their stuff and they go to the job site, which is 30 minutes away. So by the time they get rolling, you already lost 45 minutes in the morning, and they have to start cleaning up early to go back to the yard so they can clock out and put all the tools away. So you're losing hour and a half every single day. Now, if you have $300 an hour for 10 employees, that's gonna be $450 every single day that you're losing. $450 times 5, that's $2,250. Let's see, I think so. Yeah, see, I doubted myself. I shouldn't have done that. $2,250 every single week. Now remember, there's 52 weeks in a year. That's over $100,000 that you're losing just by making that one mistake of having your employees go to the office versus straight to the job site. And if you are a lawn man, lawn care, you kind of have no choice because they have to meet there, then they have to do a whole circus and then have to come back. That's fine. But if you do construction, you have a choice. They meet at the job site. Take your car, park it in Mrs. Johnson's sidewalk right by her house, get out, work, put the tools away, get in the car, go home. It just saved you $100,000. Growth and scaling. To grow your business, you must do things in a very meticulous form. You can't just right off the gate hire 25 people and expect to do $10 million the first year, unless you have already a custom of building businesses. But if you don't have any idea of how to build a business, you can't do that. You're gonna crash and burn. So what you gotta do is hire 2 guys in the beginning, work, get comfortable, hire another 2 guys. Okay, now you have 4. Now you're managing 4. Those guys are working for a couple months, everything's going good. The way you're gonna be able to tell is when customers are happy and you're making money. If customers aren't happy and you're not making money, you should not hire more people. Not a good idea.
Wrong.
Take a step back. Maybe you need to switch up a couple people that work for you. Maybe you need to switch yourself up.
Me?
Everything has a lot to do with your situation, your environment. I was talking to a dude, and he's like, yeah, I'm really looking forward to growing my company to $2 million. I'm like, what are you doing now? He's like, oh, 250,000. I was like, oh, great. How are you going to do that? You know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy this dump trailer. I'm like, okay, that's great, dude. But when was the last time you took a look in the mirror? And he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, when was the last time you took a look in the mirror? And he's like, I don't know, this morning. I'm like, what'd you see? And he's like, oh, I just saw me. And I was like, you didn't see a guy that needs a haircut, that needs a beard trim, that needs to get in shape? Like, your whole canister of how you present yourself is a representation of what's going on in your head. That's why you can tell a lot about a person how their car is. You don't have to have a nice car, but if your car is completely trashed and dirty on the inside, you have Taco Bell wrappers and a bunch of stuff on the dash, no way you're organized with your finances. 0% chance. Nothing. So I told him, dude, you got to step it up. First of all, it doesn't cost any money to take a shower. Like, it actually does you worse not to take a shower. Just take a shower. You can have long hair, that's fine. Take a shower, comb your hair, be nice, trim up your neck, or just go get a haircut. You look homeless. Why would a guy, you pull up to his $2 million house, hire you to do his $500,000 job, $40,000 job, when you look like you just rolled out of bed? That's how you grow your business. Be clean cut, professional, take it slow, hire the right people. Maybe you need to fire your old self and hire the new version of yourself. You can build new habits. You got to do a lot of stuff to make yourself better. Landscape designers. This is going to be the hack of all hacks. Now, when I started from 2016 to 2021, I did not have a landscape designer that works at Applewood, and I tried. I really did. I tried to hire a guy, I tried to hire a girl, I tried to hire another guy, and we finally closed on a job. It was this nice lady from, I don't know, Afghanistan or some Middle Eastern country, and she had like probably a $400,000 job, and I hired this guy from another company because he wanted to leave that company, and I said, bro, let's just try it out. Let's just do one job. And he said, okay, that's fine. So we did one job. She gave him $1,000, and that $1,000 was given to him as a deposit. And the whole cost of the design was like $4,000. And the guy, he seemed like he knew what he was doing because he was working for a very large company. And we went there, we did the measurements, and he said in a week he'll have the whole thing ready, phase 1, draft 1, and it'll be good. When we jumped on the call with her, this dude probably spent 30 minutes doing a design. I'm like, bro, this is so bad. The whole thing went sideways. She got so mad. I apologized profusely. I said, I'm sorry. I told him, give me the fucking $1,000 back. And he's like, I don't have it, man. I spent it. He's like, I need another week. I'll get you another 1,000. I said, you piece of garbage. And I said, fuck you. Keep the money. Don't ever talk to me again. I go to the lady's house. I write her a check for $1,000. I say, listen, I'm sorry. I tried to do it with this guy. It didn't work. Here's your money back. I'm taking the loss on this. He's not going to give me $1,000 back. I'm very sorry. I was just hoping she would not leave me a better review. But she understood, and it only wasted a week of her time. And I gave her a lot of references. I said, you should contact this architect, this guy, this guy, this guy. So I gave her a lot of stuff, plus her money back, plus an apology. And plus I told her, look, I'm trying to build out the design part of my business, and it's tricky, but this was a $1,000 lesson for me. Very sorry. And she luckily did not leave me a bad review. She didn't leave me anything, which is a win for me. So that was a $1,000 lesson. Next time, I did something different. I reached out to my power circle of people in Goat Gang, and I said, hey, is there anyone that is a designer? And there was a kid in Southern California by the name of Taylor. And Taylor was a beginner, super like new in the game, but he was hungry, and Taylor's a little crazy. So I was like, I can use a little crazy, and he was young. He had no kids, no strings, no wife, nothing. He could just pick up and move. And I told him, like, bro, let's do it. Come over. So I set up the whole day of him. I set up, I think, like 4 job walks on Friday, 6 on Saturday, and another 6 on Sunday. And I went with him from job to job to job to job, and we were doing a bunch of visits, and him and I closed 5 deals. So there was proof in the pudding that Taylor could have 5 jobs that we already got a deposit on, and he went back home and he started doing the designs. And after he closed them, got the money, everything was going fine, and then he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna move. So he picked up all his shit, which was everything that he put in his car, and he drove all the way up to San Jose, which is a 6-hour drive, rented a room, and now he's been with me for going on 4 years, which is pretty cool. And Taylor has been a very, very useful asset to the business because he filled in a area of the business that I could not, which is the design. I physically don't have enough time to do that or want to do that. So get a designer. Last but not least, credit cards, taxes, back end, administration, all that is the nitty gritty of the business, is the backbone of the business. But most importantly, what you have to understand is your credit is going to be a big determining factor of how successful you become and how easily it will be to become. Yes, you can do everything cash. Yes, it'll be safe, all that stuff, but it'll take you twice or 3 times as long to scale the business, which is to me not ideal. I would rather use a financing from Caterpillar. They give you 0%. Like they don't charge you anything. Bobcat, they don't charge you anything. They just say, here's the 259, here's the tractor, pay us $1,200 a month for 4 years. That's $50,000. Done. I'd rather do that than use $50,000 cash of my own money. And everything that I bought in 2017, 2018 is all paid off now, which is pretty cool. And you have to understand, the back end of the business has a lot to do with finances, but you need to put bodies in the chairs in order to facilitate all of those things. Because if you're doing all the bidding, answering phones, emails, managing customers, answering questions. I mean, it's too much. It's too much. You can't do that. Plus be a good manager of the field. Plus be a designer. I know everyone wants to do everything. Oh, I'm going to design. I'm going to do the management. I'm going to do the back end. How? Like, you can't do that. There's no way. There's a cap. You can only get to $2 million bucks. That's it. Doing everything yourself. And I did everything myself, excluding the design. I did management, employees, emails, back end, bidding, plus YouTube. Once a week. That's it. I did not even touch designs because I didn't want to. So you have to be a realist a little bit, and you have to understand you need help. You can't do everything yourself. It's too much work. There's not enough time in the day. You're going to burn yourself out. You're going to hate yourself. And when things go wrong, you just say, landscaping sucks. I'm not built out for this. And you're going to quit. And you're going to go get a job at McDonald's, and you're going to be sad for your whole life. Don't be sad. Get happy and hire the right people. Remember, McDonald's doesn't have one employee, neither should you. McDonald's has 200,000 employees, and you get frustrated when you get one bad apple. It's okay. You'll find the next guy. Just keep hunting, keep searching, keep following through, and hire fast, but also fire fast. For the past 2 years, I've helped over 400 people start, scale, and systematize their business. Because I took the model that I learned, that I figured out through trial and error, and I put it inside a format where you guys can literally read, watch videos, listen to audio, and apply. Copy, paste. This is one of my favorite things to say, copy, paste. And 30 of them out of those 400 have gone to over multi-million dollars in their business, which is fantastic. And it's all been through the strategies that I have developed, figured out with me and also my team. I'm not the only one I'm not the smartest hat in the box. There are other people helping me. And that's the most important thing I want you guys to understand. Especially if you've made it to the video this far, you have to understand that there's a system to the madness. There's a process. And the only reason that you are not where you want to be is because you don't know the process. It's very simple. Now, I haven't released this online. I haven't told anyone about this. It's very private. It's only for the very select few that actually want to learn and scale their business and understand how everything is done. If you need help with that, all you have to do is message me, click the link below, and we're going to jump on a call. It's going to be me and you, and we're going to figure out if this is a right fit. I can help you if you can help me. If you're receptive, great. If we're a good match, great. If we're not, it's okay. No big deal. But it'll be a 10-minute call, and it'll be quite informative. I just want to know more about your business, what your goals are, where you want to go, and how fast you want to grow. Now, this is going to take years. It's not going to be like, in 2 months, I'll have a $5 million company. No. In 2 months, you can have way more than you did before because you have the right systems and you have directions of how to get to your destination. Google Maps. We can go from California to Miami, and I can just head east and south, and it might take me 5 days, 10 days to get there. But if I plug it in Google Maps, it'll take me 40 hours. You know what I'm saying? It's just how much do you value your time? That's it. By the way, boys, this is not a course. It's not something that you can just watch videos and okay, whatever. This is actually helping you throughout the whole process. Jumping on calls with you, holding your hand, having my assistant talk to you. And Bree's her name. She's not really an assistant. She's like a director of operations right now. But having her in your ear, training you how to find better people, showing you how to even get better qualified people. What should you pay them? How much are they worth? What are you going to do when this person comes in? What training do you have to have? All those videos, tutorials, and educational is there ready for you. All you have to do is sit down and watch and implement. That's the hardest part, by the way. Implementation. And because people are the most inconsistent with implementation, that's why I will be there and Bree will be there to help you hold your hand and pull your little hand along, little Johnny. Come on, we're going for a walk, and pretty much push you across the finish line. And this is not one of those get rich quick schemes. This is a get rich slow. It's not fast. And if all goes according to plan, maybe in a few years, we'll be hopping the Lambos together and going on a cruise. Hit the link below, jump on a call, and I'll help you go to the next level and beyond.